Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and to the Precious Metals Summit Conference here in Zurich. And now we have the honor and pleasure to talk to Alan Carter, who is the CEO of Cabral Gold. Hey, welcome. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Joachim. Nice to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think, how far is the conference?
Very good. Yeah, full schedule. It's we've had some excellent meetings so far.
Super. I mean, at $2,700 gold, that works.
Yeah, absolutely. That helps.
Exactly. Super. Cabral Gold. You are in Brazil?
Yeah, right? We're in northern Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
In Pará State, we have a project right next door to G Mining's big new mine. They've just commissioned a very large new mine right next door to us.
Yes, I interviewed them 2 hours ago. Really interesting project, I must say.
Right.
So you're on elephant territory already.
Yeah.
So what's the company up? Because I saw that you are also working on a, starter pit, starter operation, but you have more projects. So maybe let's start first to focus on the starter operation, because that helps always when you make cash flow, right?
Yeah. Well, I think first it's important to recognize we are immediately next door to G Mining's project. As you know, I was involved in the discovery of that. You may remember I used to own the royalty in that project. So I'm very familiar with the geology of that project and the early exploration results that we got at Tocantinzinho. We have the project next door to them, so it's just to the northwest. We have an area which is has a much larger historic footprint. So Tocantinzinho, the Tocantinzinho mine, produced about 200. The streams over that area produced about 200,000 ounces of gold, placer gold, 40 years ago, all informal mining. The area we have produced 2 million ounces of placer gold. So Cuiú Cuiú, for whatever reason, is on their doorstep, and it has a much larger footprint. Now, because it has a much larger footprint, and I think we've got currently our resource base is just over 1.2 million ounces, so it's about 60% of what they have. We have about 50 peripheral occurrences here. By that I mean these are occurrences where we found gold outside the two main gold deposits so far. We've made 3 new discoveries, and we've got these 50 other targets where we found gold either in drill holes or trenches or in boulders, Joaquin. So it's quite different. It has a much bigger footprint to Tocantinzinho. Now that creates a challenge. It's an opportunity because we think there's going to be millions of ounces at Cuiú Cuiú. It's going to grow much larger from the current 1.2 million ounce resource base, but it also presents a challenge, and that is funding the drill testing of all these various targets, because we have a lot of them. So our strategy is a little bit different to G Mining because we have a much larger district with a much larger footprint and so many more targets. What we've decided to do is pursue a 2-stage development strategy. That is to get into cash flow as soon as we possibly can by mining and processing the weathered material that sits on top of these gold deposits. These gold deposits have been weathered in situ for millions of years. There's a 60-meter thick mud layer or saprolite layer on the top, which has the same gold content as the underlying rocks. Okay. And obviously to mine that mud layer is going to be very cheap, because you're not drilling and blasting rock, and you're not crushing and grinding rock, it's mud. So you can basically scoop it up. So the strategy is get into cash flow as soon as we possibly can by mining and processing that mud material, and then feed that cash flow back into the larger opportunity, which is drilling off this massive district that we had. So we've just done a PFS. The results have been very, very positive, and we anticipate making a construction decision in the second quarter of next year. So, and then it's a 12-month build after that. Yep.
Okay, super. That means like 2027 latest you could be in production.
I think we'll be in production mid-26.
Okay, super. Can you already give us a little bit of an idea what a production would look like?
Yeah, it'll start small.
Maybe it's a bit too early, but...
That's right, yeah. No, I can, because it's all in the PFS, in the press release. If you look at the press release from 21st of October, you'll see all this data. But we're going to start relatively modestly with about 20,000 ounces a year. The capex on that is very low. It's $37 million US dollars. So we're not talking hundreds and hundreds of $1 million of capex. Given our market cap, we think that's attainable. We do have quite a lot of interest in the project financing, and we hope to have that in place over the next 6 months. As I said, the idea is to make a construction decision. But $37 million of capex, 20,000 ounces a year to start. There's a lot of oxide material that's not contemplated in the PFS, but as I said, the all-in sustaining cost will be very low to start with $1,000 an ounce. The stripping ratio here is very, very low. The life of mine strip ratio is 0.9 to 1.
Wow, fantastic.
So we're excited. And the after-tax IRR at a gold price of $2,250, which is a lot below the current gold price, is 47% post-tax.
Nice.
So this thing should generate an awful lot of cash and make a lot of money.
Definitely, it sounds like. Okay, make a lot of money. I like that idea because it's you are becoming independent, I would say, like self-finance.
That's right.
So what would be then the next step to deploy the capital? Because you said you had like 50 targets. Anything you would say, there's maybe more
Absolutely.
focus?
Absolutely. Look, there's 3 areas where we want to deploy that capital once we get into cash flow. And as I said, we hope to be in production starting in 2026. We'll obviously have some debt to pay off on that $37 million. We don't know how much is going to be debt versus how much is equity right now. But in terms of priorities, there is a lot of gaps to the existing resource base on the 2 deposits that we have currently. And so we think we can add quite a lot of ounces there very quickly at both the MG and the Central Gold deposits, which are 5 kilometers apart. As I said, the current resource base is at 1.2 million ounces. So number one, drill the gaps to the existing deposits. Second, the second use of that cash is, and the second priority really, is to establish maiden resources for the 3 new discoveries we've got. Not got 1 discovery here, we've got 3. And by that, I mean we've got gold mineralization over hundreds of meters. We've got a lot of drilling and trenching on these 3 new discoveries. So getting maiden resources on those 3 is also something that we want to do reasonably quickly because it will add a lot of ounces. And the third priority for that cash is going to be testing some of these other targets. As you know, earlier this year, we drilled one of these peripheral targets and we got 11 meters at 33 grams gold.
Which is lovely.
Spectacular result. The share price doubled, but the share price has stayed up. And then the step-out drilling is also returning some fantastic results. Last week, we put out from the same zone, and this is a very nice high-grade zone, we put out 5 meters at 25 grams. So looks like there's a very exciting target emerging there, but there's numerous other areas where we've got boulders here on surface that are averaging 3 ounces a ton, 90 grams a ton. Gold, not silver.
Crazy.
And we've got 10 targets like that. So there's an awful lot to do, and it has enormous potential.
Super. Could you then use that starter operation, let's say modular enlargement, and then also work out your new targets, which you have found, which are nearby?
Yeah, only for the oxide mineralization, because this is a heap leach operation. So the oxide material leaches extremely well. It doesn't need any crushing or grinding. I think that once we get into production through the oxide, we'll add a lot more oxide ounces. As I said, the PFS is only contemplating mining about 85,000 ounces of this oxide material. We've got 320,000 ounces in the oxide material. I think that resource base will grow significantly in the next months and years. So there's potential to expand the oxide operation, extend the mine life, grow the initial starter operation. But for the much larger hard rock opportunity, Joaquin, we're going to need to actually build a much bigger plant with crushing, grinding, and it'll be drilling and blasting because it's hard rock. So it'll be a different process route. So yeah. Okay, super, fantastic. So then the question is, what is today cash in the bank? Meaning, are you financed to really bring that to that project financing point, I would say? Well, we've got about $1 million in the bank right now. We've just announced the financing. So if anybody's in interest, please let me know. It's a $3 million financing. That will get us through to the second quarter of next year and a construction decision. After that, obviously, by then we should have the project financing in place. But we just need a little bit of money to get us through the next few months. So, if anybody's in interest, please let me know. Okay, please, talk directly to Alan. Thanks. Super. Who are your major shareholders? I saw that you are personally a large shareholder. You put, I think, almost $1.95 million. Yeah, about $2 million Canadian dollars. It is a lot of money. For me, it's an awful lot of money. And I think, I don't know how many CEOs or senior management teams actually put that kind of money into the companies. But, I don't expect anybody else to contemplate investing in our company unless I'm, as the CEO, I've got a lot of my own money at risk. Beyond that, we've got about 50% institutional ownership. Okay, wow. There's a Swiss fund here that's based here in Switzerland called Phoenix. That's a very big shareholder, and we've got a lot of North American and European institutions in the stock. We have a lot of retail shareholders, particularly here in Europe. Actually, there's a lot in Switzerland, Germany, and Scandinavia, and Fantastic. Super. Then I wish you well for that. It sounds like a great story. Thank you very much. Please keep us posted and updated. That's fantastic. I will. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Nice to be here. Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Alan Carter, the CEO of Cabral Gold. And you heard it. This is another, starting production story very soon here. They are on the path to the project finance. As he alluded to, they want to raise another 3 million to really go through that phase. And then with the project finance, they are ready to rock for 20,000 ounce production as the start, but much, much more
blue sky potential here for exploration, but also for production, enlargement, growth. This is exactly what we like. And they are in Brazil, also fantastic mining state for sure. So really check out the company. Thanks for watching us and bye-bye from Zurich.